All right, today we're going to dive into a blueprint for mastering focus. But here's the twist. Our inspiration? It's coming from a place you probably wouldn't expect. The high-stakes world of politics. We're going to see what the kind of discipline it takes to operate at that level can teach us about our own daily battles with procrastination. So, let's just start with a moment of real honesty. You and me. How did your day really begin? You know that feeling, right? The alarm goes off, but you feel like you haven't really slept at all. I mean, the day hasn't even properly started, and you're already feeling like you're running on empty.
And what's the first thing that happens? Before your feet even hit the floor, your phone is in your hand, you're scrolling, checking notifications, reacting to things, and you're already behind.
Then you look at your to-do list, you see the assignments waiting for you, and you just feel nothing. That spark, that drive to get going, it's just not there. You tell yourself, okay, I'll start in 5 minutes. But we both know how that goes. Those 5 minutes turn into 30, then an hour, and before you know it, the entire day has just vanished. Sound familiar?
Well, if that cycle feels all too real, stick with me, because today we're going to break it. And we're going to do it by looking at focus through a pretty intense lens, a world where there are no extensions, no second chances, politics. We're using the relentless pressure faced by figures like Robert Jenrick as a case study for building discipline when the stakes are incredibly high. So here's the game plan. We're going to break this down into 5 powerful keys. We'll start by totally reframing how you think about pressure, then we'll conquer the morning, learn how to design our afternoons, and master our work blocks. And then we get to the real secret, shifting your identity. Let's get into it.
All right, first up, pressure isn't the enemy. The real problem is actually avoidance. Let's just start with a question that could honestly change everything. What if that feeling of pressure, that anxiety you get about a deadline, what if that isn't the thing that's actually stopping you? This right here, it reveals a massive mindset shift. See, most of us, we feel discomfort and we think it's a stop sign, a signal to wait until we feel ready. But high performers, they do the exact opposite. For them, that discomfort is the green light. It's the signal to act right now. Precisely because it feels uncomfortable. They don't wait for motivation to show up. They create it by taking action. So how do you actually do that? You use something called the 5-minute start. First, pick the absolute tiniest version of the task you're avoiding. I'm not talking write the essay, I'm talking open the document. That's it. Second, set a timer for just 5 minutes. Third, and this is the magic part, give yourself permission to start badly. Seriously, just write one terrible sentence. The goal isn't perfection, it's just to get the ball rolling. Okay, so once you have a tool to bust through that initial wall of avoidance, the next step is to build a system so you don't even hit the wall in the first place. And that brings us to our second key, winning your morning. How you start your day really does decide your focus. I want you to think of your daily focus like a phone battery. At the start of the day, it's at 100%. But every tiny decision, what to wear, what to eat for breakfast, which assignment to start first, it just drains that battery. This is decision fatigue, and it's exactly why your mornings can feel so chaotic, and why you feel tired before you've even done anything important.
So how do we fix this? With a dead simple morning reset. These 3 habits aren't about being a robot, they're about reducing decisions to save that battery. Waking up at the same time, doing the exact same first task every single day, and keeping your phone away for just 20 minutes, it tells your brain, hey, we're in control here. And that feeling of control, it's the ultimate antidote to procrastination and anxiety.
Okay, moving on to our third key, design your afternoon slump. Because that crash you feel every single afternoon, it is not laziness, I promise. It's just biology.
This is such a powerful reframe. That energy dip between, say, 2 and 5 p.m., it's a biological reality. Your brain is literally slowing down. So instead of fighting it with more coffee and getting frustrated, the top performers, they anticipate it. They plan for it. They work with their energy, not against it. So what does that look like? You use these hours for the low-energy stuff, organizing your notes, doing some simple revisions, cleaning up your workspace. You save your deep, creative thinking for when your brain is sharpest. And crucially, you build in a 5-minute movement break. A quick walk can seriously wake up your brain better than another cup of coffee.
Now for our fourth section, and this is a concept that will save you so much time and energy. One focused block of work always wins. This is all about quality over suffering.
Just look at this comparison.
On one side, you've got what most of us do, these marathon studying sessions that are really just hours of low-quality, distracted work. It just leads to burnout and suffering. On the other side, you have focus blocks. Yeah, they're intense, but they produce high-quality work, they build your confidence, and they're actually sustainable in the long run.
So what does a focus block actually look like? Well, your brain can't focus deeply for hours on end, but it can go really hard for 25 minutes. So you work for 25 minutes, then you take a true 5-minute break, and I mean away from your screen. You repeat that cycle 3 times, and then you take a longer, well-earned break. This isn't just some technique. You're literally training your brain to focus, and that builds incredible confidence.
And finally, let's get to the most important part of this entire explainer. This is the mindset that nobody ever really teaches. Identity over motivation.
This is the internal shift. High performers don't wake up and ask, do I feel motivated today? No way. They act from a place of identity. They think, this is who I am, so this is what I do. Instead of waiting for a feeling to strike, you make a decision. You decide to be the kind of person who shows up even when it's hard, even when you're tired. So the crucial takeaway is this. Forget about motivation. It's flaky, it's unreliable. Instead, just focus on this one thing. For 10 minutes a day, just 10, act like the focused, disciplined person you want to become. That's it. That small action, repeated every day, is how you build an entirely new identity.
And please remember this, you are not broken. You are not lazy. You're not starting from zero. You're just early in the process. You are starting from right here, right now, with everything you need to take that first small step.